Welcome to Zelda Speed Runs. We have for you Game 1 from the semifinals of the 2024 Zelda 2 Randomizer Upstarts tournament between the number 2 seed ta909 and the number 3 seed methinkso. On tracking today, we have JLo, and I will pass it over to our commentary team of Mirai and Elendar. Take it away, you two.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game 1 of this 3-game series here. Elendar, are we excited for this one?
I'm very excited, partially because we're starting to get down to it. We got some top runners of the new runners, and also because I may be slightly biased that my call for the winning this tournament is still in it. So
I was going to say, are you wearing your ta909 hat right now?
I am wearing my ta909. I once upon a time played a lot of Z1R and have definitely lost to ta909 on several occasions. So good to see him getting into Zelda 2 and having some success here. methinkso also having quite a bit of success. And we'll be off for people curious. Same flags as the rest of brackets and week 6. We're just rolling with those all the way to the end of the tournament in a vanilla-like question mark.
I'm going to say still could be mountainous or even a caldera.
There was kind of a lot of mountain to the south there. Hard to tell this early. Easy raft though.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to caldera.
Yeah, 2 quick towns, spell. Both runners. methinkso thinking about not getting it, but I think it makes sense to, especially with Router, just go in and get the hints.
Yeah, not only the hints, but it's like spells. Like if you have tough combat in a palace somewhere, you have spell early on, and if you can cast it once to get past a terrible Doom Knocker or Blue Iron Knuckle or something, it's nice to have in your pocket.
Yeah, even a bad spell in Rauru can be worth getting in because it's a pretty quick trip to get it. And again, three hints here, very easy to get. Kind of compressed town, as well as it being so early that basically any hint is going to be a little bit useful. Though not great on the hint so far.
Yeah, 0 for 3 here. And our next town is... Okay, Mito with shield.
Mito with downstab is the real win there.
A lot of caves right here. 4 caves, one of them boulder blocked, 1 facing west and 2 facing north.
Kind of a free start here. And still no idea what this biome is.
Yeah, there's even another cave down there just off the screen. As you watch him walk into the trophy cave, you can see something just on the southeast corner there. Looks like that might be boots blocked.
Which, of course, means we're going to have boots immediately.
Not yet. Yeah, for anyone not following the tournament so far, TA 2nd seed, methinkso the 3rd seed here. So probably a pretty even match we're going to see here.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen both of these runners race a few times, and either of them could easily take it. No big mistakes likely. Although this is Randomizer, big mistakes are always possible, as I've proven on several occasions.
Yeah, I think you play enough Randomizer seeds and you cannot escape the mistakes. Especially when you're new and you're on a broadcast and thousands of people are watching you in an arena, and there's a lot of pressure here on top of it all. Regardless of how good some of these runners may be in other games, this is, of course, they're not... Okay, all right. Oh, you win.
This is just how it's been with the boots recently. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Well, we're gonna have access to that cave down there. If this is a caldera, it'll be looking like it might be a one-sided caldera. Oh no, there you go.
Okay, it's a caldera for sure.
All right, so Fairy Cave, boulder blocked on the other side. My guess is now that those boots are going to take us across the water. Southeast corner is going to be another pass through to go to the other side of the caldera. Final answer, Regis.
Yeah, I want to see it to just take us to Death Mountain.
Okay.
Just
I mean,
be
I'll
like,
accept that as well.
yeah, like just force you to go all the way around the other side of the caldera. I love me some Death Mountain, so.
Yeah, methinkso. It was funny. They were both going in for an orange Dyra there. methinkso was killing the one in the fairy cave, and TA was killing the one that he had to get through Magic Container Cave here for this child. Only worth $30 today. Not too much.
Yeah, both runners still at attack 1, and it's not friendly.
Yeah, we're just seeing jars. Is this a second jar we've seen drop? We've not seen a P bag yet, I don't believe. They're not guaranteed to be in there either.
No, yeah, it is possible. It's 1/16 of the time there are no P bags anywhere in the drop pool. It's a fairly uncommon occurrence.
Wow, even the reds have rolled down pretty far. The red Dyra's there. Okay, so we've got a boulder block cave facing south just north of our Twin Cities. We've got 3-6 right here, which we might do some grinding on. I think we're trying to get a guy out of here to see how much he's worth. And we've got that one cave in the southeast corner. That looks like that's all we have access to right now.
Yeah, TA looking to get this attack level and potentially take an up A, but having Mirai luck there, 3 misses and out.
Yeah, methinkso gets the second attempt here. We'll see how much this guy's worth. Could be as low as 70 or maybe 50. Okay. It is 150 today, so.
All right, so TA finding Parappa Cave. Interesting.
Yeah, is TA down a life? I think he's down. I don't know if he up an 8 when he was at the 3-6 the first time. He's gonna have another chance here if he wants it.
That looks like it's a Caldera bypass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unexpected.
Well, at least it's not Jump Cave or anything like that. I'm guessing that Jump Cave is on the other side of our Caldera there in reverse from right to left.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be.
I'm pretty sure I thought about this the other day. I never thought about it much before this, but I'm pretty sure when caves are used as pass-throughs in the Caldera, they're always oriented the exact same way, so it's always left to right.
They are supposed to be.
Okay.
I believe it works correctly in this version. It did not work in all previous versions.
Okay. I was gonna say I noticed that recently because not always. Sometimes on like an islands biome, we might have something kind of flipped, but always it seems in the Caldera that it's always the proper orientation.
Yeah, there was some code to do that didn't work properly. And a few patches ago, I did a big rewrite to how Calderas work, and they basically work identically to how they used to, just without bugs and a little faster now.
Yeah. Saw a hint there. Magic key in the maze. As you noted a moment ago, we still don't know how to get off this continent, so.
Yeah, we got to the other side, but that has not helped at all.
I didn't see what spell was in. Sorry, here we're going in to get it though, so it must not be life, or maybe it is life. I don't know.
I
don't know
think
if TA is a life skipper.
I think he'd take life right now.
Oh, there you go.
He has been very low and also very close to an attack level for quite some time. And wow, that's really cheap for life on Magic 1.
Methinkso on a sliver of health here. Oh, there's a bag finally. Oh, got plenty of lives. Where'd all these lives come from? Are they dropping in the drop pool? I've totally missed where all those lives have come from.
Yeah,
They must be.
There was at least one on a trap tile that they hit. Ooh, you think so? With good use of the spell, yeah, to get past those enemies would have been difficult without.
TA's about to join MTS up here in Medicine Cave, but there must just be something. Or, you know what? Here's what this could be. This could be a hammer, and it could be a boulder-blocked cave connector just north of North Palace there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're out of caves at this point. We've seen everything.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Have we seen the last? We haven't seen the last town, but we don't have a trophy, so there's no chance of like fairy spell being available to put palaces in the logic.
Yeah, so this must be. I mean, there must just be like a raft tile or a bridge just east of where Medicine Cave is here, and methinkso is going to probably be the first to show us that. Because we saw where Saria was. There's some extra mountains here on this caldera, and Saria is blocked by a mountain range, so you had to walk around in sort of a C formation walk to get up here to Medicine Cave from Saria, and so there's still just a little bit of coast left over here. What is it going to be? We don't know just yet.
There's another one-up. It looks like just a bunch of the small items shuffled into one-ups.
Ooh, I don't know if we like this setup here. Okay, he must have just wanted that level, because it's only 30 for oranges and 70 for reds, and attack 2 is still going to be several hits to get... Okay, there we go.
Yeah, attack 2 and attack 3 usually aren't that... Or attack 1 and attack 2 usually aren't that different. Base damage on attack 1 is 2, attack 2 is 3, so...
Yeah.
Go east to find the hammer. Okay. So that pass-through, that hammer block pass-through is not progress. Where is progress?
Well, we have a raft tile just south of here.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
Yeah, the one thing that MTS still needs to do is walk back down to Saria was. TA's already cleared that section down there, so I think TA's just going to hit this raft and get out of here. We'll see what methinkso does.
Okay, Helmet Head blocking the trophy.
Yeah, that's going to be Reflect, so...
Yeah, gonna have to get that one. Thankfully, not too bad a check.
All right, so we're in DM now.
Yeah, I was hoping for some DM, and we've definitely found it.
Yeah, we didn't see the fairy, so it was Mito, Shield, Rudo, Reflect. Fairy is going to be in the east. Might be Darunia. If it is, we've got the kid. If it's a blocked town, we won't have a flute or a hammer to get to that just yet. It may actually be... Well, east is hammer, but... I mean, that doesn't mean that it can't be blocked by the flute. It may be the maze play after all, because at this point, there's really nothing stopping us fully. Okay, it could be hammer. I'm sorry. It could be hammer from east over to maze from the cave that's just north of North Palace, and that'll be magic key for progression. Wow. Yeah, a little bit of a route divergence here, and I like ta909 chose to go up through the caves, but methinkso saw that section of water down below, is getting access to this coast and just a huge number of free cave checks. Yeah, I like the water. I really do. When you got the boots, just walk around and kind of observe everything. And the more seeds you play, you kind of realize that more often than not, hammer cave and anything else, especially a bridge that might be here in the northeast corner, is just going to be accessible from the water like that.
Oh, interesting. He's not going... I would say, once you're on the water, keep going, go all the way up the east coast, but methinkso going back?
I'm thinking he wants to see Saria.
Okay, yeah. Can he get there easily from the water? No, he's going to loop around. Okay.
It almost looked like you could, but I'm not 100% sure there now. We did see a 500-point P-bag in the drop pool finally on TA side.
Okay.
Probably coming up here soon for MTS.
Yeah, so ta909 did get to check that whole east coast, and not there either.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Man, it's got to be... If Hammer's in the east, and if we're assuming that cave north of North Palace and our Twin Cities is a continent connector, which I believe it is. I'm pretty sure we saw all 5 caves, item caves, on the west so far. Or, okay, MTS doesn't have Heart Container Cave marked off, but TA does. So I'm going to assume that all 5 were accessible.
Yeah, looks like that can... The likely path off of Death Mountain is just hiding out somewhere in the interior, which is the worst place for it to be.
Yeah. I was going to say, as much as I just talked up staying to the water, here is the time that nothing of use is along the water, and we're going to have to find... Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. Never mind. It's right there.
Different water.
More water. 3-sided water in a vanilla-like Death Mountain is unusual.
Okay, here's Heart Container. That makes sense why MTS didn't see that.
Okay. Yeah, and TA doing a little bit of extra checking. He figured, well, I already checked everywhere else out here. Hammer Cave can't be that far, and here it is.
I was gonna say I wonder how many lives he has, but we'll see right here. Okay, he's still good.
Yeah, lots of small item lives for both of these runners. Still gonna be ta909. He's stopping. He's thinking about whether he wants to commit the time to Hammer Cave.
He's admiring the architecture of those pillars right at the start. They're kind of something he's never seen before. He doesn't have his cam on, so he can't see if there's anything happening if he's like talking to somebody or anything like that. Usually when he plays Z1R, he's got the whole setup going, but he has said plenty of times, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing in Z2R, so no cam because I don't want to be embarrassing myself.
Yeah, and he's looking around. I think he's doing some stuff on his tracker. I think he's just trying to align himself with, okay, what am I doing? Where am I going? What's the actual plan here? It's easy when you get into a seed to just be like, all right, check, and then be like, wait, what am I doing? What's the plan?
All right, MTS has returned to DM here. Probably going to do that final northeast corner check, find nothing, and then come to the inside and hopefully see this soon enough. If there's something in Hammer Cave, hoping he checks that. If there's nothing here, possible skip for him if he wants it. They both know that Maze has the magic keys, so, and that East is Hammer.
Okay, neither runner had gotten the hint for medicine, and so a surprise to them. And I suspect if ta909 knew that the medicine was in DM, he might not have gone here because it's just for shield spell, which once you already have life is helpful, but not something you really want to go all the way through Hammer Cave for.
Yeah, so we'll see where this bridge goes in a moment. It's either going to go maze or it's going to go east. Again, I'm feeling we technically have two connectors left, right? It's going to be two caves. And so that other cave may be on the east somewhere, and it may just go to the maze as well. At this point, it kind of seems like it may go to the maze. Or the cave that's boulder blocked on the west may actually come back to the east, and the maze cave is on the east here, so...
Yeah. We are officially east. And still no idea. Sort of a centralized fairy town, sort of a centralized Valley of Death. So it could be islands. It could be hanging on an island.
Yeah, my vote is for either mountainous or vanilla-like here. We've got that, or maybe it could be a volcano, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like we had edge land going up to the edge. That Valley of Death feels a little bit closer to volcano, though it looks like it's just a long path. Because yeah, that definitely looks like volcano now, with the mountain extending all the way out to the east side.
These MOAs are giving TA the business out here. He took a lot of damage right there at the entrance to Old Kasuda, which was Fairy Spell, lifed up, but didn't have enough to survive this graveyard encounter. Wow.
Yeah, and they're not only killing him, but draining his experience too. He lost like 50 or 60 points out of that.
All right, MTS almost did this medicine here. Yeah, the real separation here is just simply that methinkso did some of DM and then kind of walked it back to Saria and Heart Container Cave and then had to walk it back to DM and reestablish his position out here. And then that's essentially what the separation here is.
Yeah, just some unfortunate routing, not wrong. Just sometimes you do things and they don't end up being in the right order. There's a GP sighting and TA not interested in it. It's to up A though. I think he had one additional life, but
yeah,
not enough experience to really merit holding on to it. Better to be safe, especially considering how much time it would cost to make your way all the way back here with a game over.
I didn't see what was on the water tile there. I assume it was nothing special. A heart? Oh, it was a heart. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, go ahead.
I was saying getting the hinted hammer. Cross that one off your bingo cards.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else up here. There's a pass-through cave headed east-west here, I believe. And if that's it, then we have to go back to that other cave on the west with this hammer and fairy, which I assume is castable with 96 magic. And so that's going to be a downstab pickup, shield pickup, and probably it's got to be maze access at this point.
If this is a volcano, it could be also required that we just have to do a full trip through the Valley of Death to get to the other side to get to the maze.
You know, that's funny. That's funny. If it is one-sided, maybe this cave north of North Palace is actually the south side of the volcano, and then the cave to the maze is down there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that would be amazing. That would be great.
Yeah, TA deciding to take the gamble and be like, nope, I'm doing this. It is fairly likely that rock block cave does lead to the maze. And even if it just leads to the south side of the east, that's pretty reasonable as well.
Yeah. At that point, there's not too much continent left to explore, and the maze will be not too far away. But I don't know. I'm kind of laser focused on that magic key, but they obviously have a fairy spell they can cast now. So
yeah, actually, I hadn't even considered. This is very nice routing from ta909 that in addition to any place that cave leads you is likely to be useful. Also, getting downstab just on the way.
Yeah, I will call out, noticing the levels here, 323 on TA, 334 on methinkso. I wonder where he got a little bit of extra experience there to get those 2 extra levels.
ta909 has been doing a little bit of avoiding the Lizalfos in a couple of his encounters, just leaving rather than methinkso taking a little bit of effort to kill them and being rewarded.
Yeah, and hopefully MTS goes back to that town, Old Kasuto, because that is of course a fairy spell.
Okay, we did get a maze, and dude, check the other cave. Check the cave.
It's got to go south. Oh, I guess it could go to nothing in DM. Could be like some weird.
Yeah, it could just be a dud cave in the middle of DM. But if it you want to know that though, right? Like,
yeah,
if you know that's a dud cave, when you finish Maze Island, you want to up A and go back to the east. If you know that it leads to the south end of the east, you definitely don't want to up A and you want to go into the cave when you're done. And for a couple extra steps, that information is very much worth it.
Yeah, what did we see for palaces again on the west? We saw 3-6, and obviously we didn't see what's in a caldera, but I don't remember. Was it 2?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't recall. I'm just trying to think of like routing in what palaces we want to do. If we're going to go south side of east, might be 5 down there. I mean, that there still could be 6 on the west as well. I don't know. There's still, we haven't seen 1, or maybe we did just see 1 there on the maze, I think.
Yeah. I mean, given that we know GP is on the north side of the east, kind of a natural routing you'd want to do is do this palace here in the maze, clear the west, then go east, and you can clear the south end of the east, go up, and then sort of just, if the volcano does pass through, you can just pass through it and then do GP last, sort of a natural routing of everything.
Yeah, so methinkso has passed up Mito, not going to grab downstab and shield, coming right to... Okay, it's south side. Okay.
Okay.
But he's skipping that, and he's coming right to the south side of the east. They're going to maze, and... I
don't know about skipping downstab. Downstab's real busted.
Yeah, this may be a mistake that possibly costs him some time here, especially if he gets caught up in some of these encounters, not being able to downstab over anything, having forcefully fight stuff.
Fairy spell still very expensive for both runners. ta909 gets a flute. That's not useful.
Yeah, I don't. Haven't seen a 3-odd rock yet, but. Of course, there's an invisible Moa in this Risen P-Bag cave here.
Yeah, every time I go through this cave, I'm always counting the number of enemies I see, and anytime I count up to 3 and I don't see the 4th enemy, I'm like, oh no.
Absolutely.
All right. Fire Town here for ta909. 6 containers going to be enough.
Oh, that's P4 on the maze, not P1. I saw. Okay.
Oh. Okay, it's a little bit unfortunate because we're going to have to do P2 first. Can't do P4 while we're here.
I cut myself off because did you see the item in the basement there?
I believe it was a glove.
It was a glove.
That is going to be pretty good for ta909. And likely methinkso as well. I suspect that he's going to check that pretty quickly as soon as he finishes up his maze.
Oh, did not get the down direction held there before casting.
Yeah, you have not only have to hold down, I think you have to wait like a couple of frames to be fully in the down holding state. I don't know the specifics of it, but I know if you're too quick, it can not work.
Only 70 points for those orange Lizalfos there. Wow. Yeah, here we go. No downstab. Taking some damage from jumping over these guys.
Yeah, you can, if you're going to jump over a Lizalfos, similar to a Daira, once you get up in the air with momentum, you want to let go of forward. If you hold forward while you're jumping, they'll sort of back up and body you. And if you let go, then they just move to a neutral stance and you can jump over them much more easily. A tip for newer runners out there. It works pretty well when you're on flat or descending ground. When you're going uphill in that room, it can be a bit messy.
Is MTS going to once again pass up Mito here? Is that a 3-eyed rock? That's not a 3-eyed rock. That's a weird rock, though.
That's just a rock.
That's a 1-eyed rock.
This is very unusual.
Yeah, so MTS going through Parappa Cave. Again, going to go to the east side of our western caldera and not grab downstab, not grab shield. It must just be slipping his mind here.
Yeah, but he is going to be the first one to commit to palaces. If the combat's not too difficult, then he could be gaining a little bit of time here. But
yeah, that's true.
You never know how long the palaces are going to be, how trolly they're going to be, how much downstab's going to help.
At least when you go into 1, 2, and 5, there aren't any Doom Knockers. The worst thing you're going to find are blue Iron Knuckles, but Doom Knockers are always so terrible to fight.
Oh, for sure. If you've got like a cheap reflect or like a fire reflect, it can help a lot, but
yeah, we might see again this spell be employed here to get through some tough rooms.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a fire check yet from either runner.
I think TA is the only one with fire. I think that came from Nukasudo. Did he get it?
Oh yes, it was Nukasudo. He may not have gotten it actually. Another thing of it, I think he might have just gotten the glove and bailed, which I sort of understand. The glove is go mode for him, at least no mode, right? What? Okay.
He didn't want to do 5 first. That was P5.
Oh, it was P5. Okay, that makes sense. I suspect we're going to see a trip into the caldera from him.
I'm going to say 3-6 up here first.
Oh, you are correct.
Yeah. There's our trophy.
Yeah, I do like methinkso's decision when he was already here to go and do P2 first, because he, you're going to need that. Is he going to cast fairy? Is he going to respawn the room? Okay. That particular room, like 95+% of the time loops into itself because of reasons inside of the way drops are generated in the rando. So it's usually pretty safe to just drop down there.
I will say that both of our palaces have identical brick patterns, just slightly different palettes of green here.
Yeah, but one of them's got blue as a secondary color, and the other seems to have more green as the secondary color. TA doing a little bit of extra fighting, hoping to pick up some of these cheap levels before getting big palace completion experience.
Yeah, we must have looped there. That must have been an up and right that led to that middle elevator section. He's headed back through this room now. No enemies in here. He's already cleared this out.
Yeah, methinkso also finding a loop back into the item room. Could be backtracking to take a left.
Yeah, not sure if we saw a window yet in this P3, P6 here in the west, so I'm not sure what we're in, but if that's the way to go, that is a glove block there that TA has just gone through.
A lot of forks here in this 3 or 6.
So starting to lean towards 6, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're all just one-room loops. Ooh, and another drop.
Ooh,
okay.
One-way room.
Yeah, this is either a large 3. Wow. Life 3. Was that over 3 bars of health we got hit for? I don't know. We're getting hit pretty hard by these. Oh, my God. It's all about that timing when they're swinging. You got to let them swing, and then you can swing. You got to just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, too. Once you get off pattern, resetting it can be a bit spooky. Because they, when they initially spawn on the screen, they don't stab for some period of time. But once you get a little bit off pattern, they can start stabbing. Also, Iron Knuckles can be a bit rude, and because the timer for how long until they start stabbing gets shared by some other AI, and so occasionally it will just be one will just show up and start swinging immediately at you, and like, what's happening?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics of it, but I'm sure every Z2R runner has experienced that occasionally, where you find a Iron Knuckle is like, why is he attacking me right away? What's happening?
Exactly. We found a Rebo guarded item room here in what I'm gonna just put my money on as P6 at this point.
It seems very likely.
Yeah, for anyone out there who's watching, who's not fully familiar with the Rando, there is a Rebo guarded item room in P6, but in the Rando, palaces 3, 4, or 6 can have pass the Rebo rooms or Rebo guarded item rooms. So this is not a clear indication that we're in P6, but again, the size of the palace so far is making me believe that we're in 6.
Yeah, methinkso's P2 also not a quick one.
Yeah, he's seen another loop up to this point, and I don't know if this is new territory for him. I think it is because of that little Guma.
Second time around, ta909 gets a much cleaner setup in the corner. 700 points for Rebo. Going to be very nice.
Oh, no, this is not new territory for methinkso. He's just walking back through. There should have been a key door there.
All right, just a heart in this P6. I'm just going to call it P6 at this point.
Well. We didn't get a hint that Rebo or Barba we didn't get an item hint for either 3 or 6, so can't really identify it by the item either. But
I would be shocked at this point if this were a.
So would I.
Smart play from ta909 there, having a little bit of trouble with a Doom Knocker. Thunders it because he knows he's about to get a magic level, and then decides to take the up A anyway. I like it. There's a whole lot of palace over there, and he can just go left here.
Yeah, the talk about the glove here, again, looking like it's required to get through this P6. Lucky for MTS, the glove is not required in P2 here, as we saw the trophy pickup, and we're on the boss now. But he is going to have to head back at some point to the maze and check that other cave.
Very, very spooky from methinkso. Doing helmet head from the right using falling neutral stabs is very tricky. Not a whole lot of hitbox there to be safe, but does get it done. I know I'm a big fan of the rising crouch stab into neutral strat for that I think you also use. Be a lot safer because you fling yourself away as you hit him.
Yeah, there's an up, down, up you can do, and then you're in a position to just block the fireball as you get away from him.
Speaking of Doom Knockers.
Yeah.
The ambush coming down that elevator.
Well, I mean, we keep...
Okay, Barba slid this with the heart. Their final for sure definite confirmation, P6. It's not going to be there's a heart in P3 too.
No,
I'm just going to call it P6.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've seen a ton of rooms. I was just about to say, we keep talking about how methinkso needs to do this or do that. The fact that he's skipped down stab up to this point. He'll also be grabbing shield at this point. It didn't hurt him too much in 2. There's no real way to measure that specifically between the 2 runners. But what I will say is that he does have an opportunity. You know, he's kind of been walking the footsteps of TA up to this point, but he does have the opportunity, looking at this 6, he has the opportunity to route this 6, to guess the route a bit better than TA has up to this point.
Yeah, and I'm sure methinkso just in the middle of P2 at some point was like, man, this place is really long. Why don't I have down stab? Yeah. I'm gonna get down stab. You know, when I get out of here, I'm just done with this.
And the thing is that Rudo is all the way over by the raft tile, and so it's like you could have hit. Well, here he's gonna go into the 6, and we're pretty sure we need the glove here.
Another very nice thunder use from ta909 is a blue iron knuckle, a red iron knuckle, and a doom knocker all on top of each other. Although this looks like a loop. It looks like ta909 seen this before, but he's just gonna be like, okay, I haven't taken this left up this elevator, and man, if you this is a dead end, but I was gonna say if you did guess that path, you would have saved a ton of time. But this P6, I'm gonna put this firmly in. This sucks territory. This is
gonna be a full clear. Yeah, this is gonna be a full clear. I think it's just hold left, and this is kind of funny because when we do casual races, TA is always talking about how he feels like if he's gonna have an advantage versus better runners, he's just gonna go route left. And it's funny that up to this point, he hasn't routed left, and here it looks like it's a just hold left palace.
Yeah, just a million different ways you could go, and hold left going to be the right strategy. There we go. And if you just held left, there'd be a window. We could have stopped speculating about this being P6 forever ago.
Pretty sure this may actually just be Barba right here. Wow. That's like 4 rooms into the palace if you just hold left.
Wow.
He is seen, yeah. This stabbing is, I'm not sure that's warming up for the Barba fight or if that's frustration.
Oh, I bet it's a lot of the latter.
I was going to say last time he did the up and A, he had taken 2 deaths. He was on his final life. He saw that 1 dead end and then he up and A'd. And I was gonna say that if he was going to continue on up to that point, that having that 1 life, if he died on Barba, would have been a game over. And then, you know, that would have been kind of disastrous. But the up and A saves him. He doesn't take a death anyway. Takes out Barba, his first gem on the board just after 37 minutes here.
Yeah, good news for methinkso. Basically glove locked immediately in P6. Not going to lose a whole bunch of time.
Now, here's the thing. He's going into the caldera. And this is going to be 1 or... What else are we missing? 1 or 3, I guess, between the volcano and the caldera. And so... At least I think so.
Yeah, and he is... Either one of those, he's going to look for the item in and lose... potentially a little bit of time to a moderate amount of time. Depends on how difficult the item room is to find. You can certainly have palaces sometimes where you just sort of accidentally find it, or it's, you know, one of the pass-through item rooms and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this could work out for him if he's able to full clear this palace. This is going to be our P3. And then go to Rudo, the sooner he goes... Oh, speaking of pass-through item room.
Yeah, it happens 20% of the time.
All right, not a heart, not the 8th heart.
All right.
But the sooner I think he gets back to the maze with Reflect to do P4, that's going to put him closer to that cave. That's going to push him closer, faster to the east. And then he's just got it's a very simple check. The Nukasuto's not that hidden. It's right there. He's got access to the basement. He doesn't know it, but he's got access to the basement, and it is the glove, and he needs to just hit up that glove. I mean, hit up the basement for the glove.
All right, so ta909 right behind him into this P3. P3 gonna give us an extra rebo today. There's a lot of rebos in this seed.
Well, they're worth 700 points, so I think our runners are okay with that.
Yeah.
I guess at this point, though, we've got a lot of levels. 455 on TA, 1770 for the next level. Might not matter that much. If this is the wrong way, we might see an up and A.
Yeah, MTS a little shorter, not having attack 4, but isn't going to be an issue in the long term. But prior to that attack 4, it's it does seem like there's a pretty decent difference between them.
I guess, yeah, if this is the right way, that will be 1,400 experience just off of Rebanet kills.
Yeah, I don't remember if attack 4 is a good level or a bad level. I mentioned good and bad attack levels. In vanilla, some of the attack levels increase your damage by 50% and some by 1/3. And because random attack effectiveness is, plus some amount plus or minus the vanilla value, the attack levels that give you plus 50% in vanilla are on average better even in the rando.
Yeah, for this we are set to vanilla for life and attack effectiveness.
Oh, attack. Okay, then yeah, then the good levels are definitely good.
And that's going to be another gem on the board for MTS. TA right behind him, though.
Yeah, definitely an ideal situation for MTS in that it was a pass-through item room that didn't cost anything to get the item for, no extra time spent searching, and a route that you can't possibly miss, so not gonna lose any potential time to miss routing.
Yeah, that's very true. I do wonder if 3 screens of, I mean, I guess this is probably about the same if you go back to North Palace and then walk to Parappa Cave, possibly grabbing an encounter on the way. I'm not sure there's enough terrain to grab an encounter before hitting that Parappa Cave. So Parappa Cave being 1 screen and this cave being 3 screens, and we are fighting along the way as well. So probably a little bit longer than your standard jump push through here. TA about to show us if we are going to be able to, yeah, okay. Ferry down to what looks like about 34-ish there at Magic 5. Not too important, but nice nonetheless.
Yeah, all the spells pretty reasonable. Life was even very cheap at level 1 and seems to have been completely unchanged all the way up to Magic 5.
Yeah. All right, going to be a reflect pickup here for MTS. Hopefully, I imagine, man, did we see a palace? I don't think we saw a palace. Oh, we saw GP. That's right. We saw GP on the top side of the east. So we're not going to rush that right now. I think, I hope that methinkso is going to go back to the maze, do 4, and then hit up, assuming he can fully complete it, and then go to the south side of the east and go from there.
And wow, TA immediately finding Helmet Head here, but he is going to have to dig out the item here.
Yeah, did we go left? Is this perhaps a left attempt here to get to the boss?
I think it was, but it's not going to, again, not going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it'll make a huge difference if he finds the item quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, methinkso saw it pretty quickly, but I don't know if it was just hold right or if there was an elevation change along the way.
Yeah, methinkso definitely spent a lot of time in this too, and if TA can find... Oh, was this it? Oh, it was just hold down. No, this isn't the item room. I thought it was a different room for a second with the Moa and the down elevator. I say if the item room was just hold down and the boss was just hold left, this is gonna be very bad for methinkso, but TA gonna have no issue. Looks like DS gonna go into the volcano. or at least into this valley of death. That it's definitely a volcano, right? Yeah. Only 21 going to be very easy to fairy feed his way through this.
I didn't pay attention to what would have been the south side of the volcano on the south side of our east here to see if it was actually, like when TA was down there, I didn't see if it passes through. Okay.
It does not. Okay.
All right.
So this trip basically mandatory. It probably still would have been faster to do this as the last palace. Just because usually you don't want to walk out. You want to avoid walking out of the Valley of Death. You just want to be able to up out of it. But here, even going back through the Valley of Death, almost certainly going to be faster than that whole trip through DM to get back to GP. So, little bit of unfortunate routing here.
All right, so trophy here. This is going to be a little bit faster for TA. I was about to say worst case scenario for methinkso is that there's a glove block in this one for the boss. If there's a glove block for the item, then he knows that the item is just not the glove. He'll be out of here and hopefully to the maze at that point.
And speaking of out of here,
oh, you can't walk around in the water there. There is just enough mountain that pushes out to the border of the map, and so you do have to make this walk every time through this sea path from Saria to Rudo. Can't just shortcut to the raft here.
Just a little unfortunate bit of terrain generation. And we'll see how bad the item is. Any of these items that methinkso is looking for are potentially costing him relative to TAH, and there's a lot of paths at the start here.
Okay, so this is the right and the four-way, so I think it just holds left from here. Fortunate on that just one room loop.
Yeah, that's definitely what you want to see.
I mean, at this point could be for what we know is the 8th magic container in the seed. T's got 7, and methinkso only has 6. That'll be his 7th, but it'll be the total 8th one. I don't think we've got a hint for Horsehead at this point. Maybe another heart. Perhaps another heart would help in terms of resources. Something other than a bag or a jar, or a 1-up or a key or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Items we're missing. It won't be an actual item.
Yeah, and I think this is the item room for methinkso. If I recall, that's the version of that room.
Oh no.
Oh man. It's not great. Yeah, and a save is correct here.
Yeah, and again, I talked about this just a moment ago about what methinkso has to do this, has to do that. The fact of the matter is he hasn't really been blocked just yet, and there's nothing, like he's not far out of this. The GP is usually very good at equalizing the runners, depending on the way to Darklink and Thunderbird and Darklink there. So regardless, there's a few minutes of difference between them here, but nothing that can't be recovered by any means.
Yeah, his lack of glove has just been costing him a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there. Not a huge difference, but ta909, not making very many mistakes here. Just a pretty clean execution. You gotta hope to pick up some time somehow, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some lefts in GP.
Well, speaking of lefts, if he just held left in P6, that's immediate. That's several minutes saved. That's several minutes just recouped from that alone. So that could be the play. We'll see what he does in that 6, though. He knows there's nothing to the right, so he knows he's got to go left through that glove block that's right at the entrance of the palace. And so we'll see if he just keeps holding left from that point. Oh, never mind. I saw something else. Ignore me.
Yeah, P1 just, it's there and it's gone.
Yeah, it's going to save a little bit of time for TA not looking for that item. At least I imagine he won't be looking for the item here.
I don't see why he'd be looking for the item. He's rapidly approaching tracker percent.
So he's going to get out of here. He's going to go. He's got Reflect out of Rudo. He's going to hit up the maze from the cave just north of North Palace. Do P4. get done with that. This is where MTS is here right now. We'll see. We haven't seen a glove block just yet, I don't believe. So seems to be open and clear at the moment. Regardless, TA has the glove. He'll be done with 4. And okay, well, Karok is at least available. And then from there, we'll back out of 4, go to 5, and then we will once again do the trip from North Palace through Parappa to the raft, to DM, to the bridge, to the east, to GP. And at this point, if TA routes 4 as fast as MTS did, and assuming 5 isn't a super troll, we might see a sub-hour GP entry, right, maybe right on the hour mark if things go well for TA here.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like every palace we've seen has either been a complete jet or a ridiculous slog. A P6 being both, depending on what your strategy was.
Yeah, and colored green.
Yeah, green a very popular color today.
I don't think this Karok was too hidden. I think this was just simply a first elevator up and right. And so if TA just follows that basic meta, he will find Karok soon enough. And this is not going to be MTS's glove. So the sooner he sees this item room, the better it's going to be for him. Hopefully it's right here, just going left. Oh, okay. So there were some options here. We did take another elevator. All right, TA looks like he's following in the footsteps. Almost the item room. This is, of course, not the item room, but it looks similar to it on the elevator there.
Yeah, and because this is a pool, a palace in the second palace group, those flames working correctly. It's always incredibly weird to me that the single Bagos and the flames share an enemy ID.
So methinkso just wanting to move here. He did have a red and blue jar there. I was going to say, if he takes some damage, he could have lifed up and then just refilled his magic. Yeah, because he's gonna, okay. He makes it. Well, 5 gems down for TA here. There it is. We're gonna be in P5 soon enough. If he has a terrible P5, there will be 2 palaces that methinkso can close the gap on, but he needs to find this item in 4 real soon so that he can see that this is not the glove and he can keep moving on.
While he's doing that, ta909 going to be in P5 and pretty close to being able to see a GP. Interesting. Not interested in attack 6. Would have been 20 more points. Just going to take the life 7. Yeah, I guess he's gonna get attack 6 anyway here, so not a huge concern.
Yeah, 20's pretty close. That is something he could have just taken. I would see if it was. I would say that if it was a few hundred more experience away, that it's quite possible to just take that first level and then get 6 off of Kuma, because you might just run into some dead ends where you then want to up an A and you're like, oh, I'm so close to a level, but there's no experience around.
Oh, very even cheaper here at Magic 6. Feeling like only about 20 points for a cast.
Yeah, I didn't see if MTS found the item room. I'm assuming he saw the item room or hit a glove block or something in 4, because he was out of there very shortly after TA walked into 5.
Yeah, and thankfully he will have his glove pretty soon here.
Spell Tower looking like it could be a container of some sort if we do go check it.
I like this check from ta909. It looks like he fell into a loop, but you do want to make sure it's not just a duplicate room.
Yeah, and it is in fact a duplicate room there.
Yep, and he's just going to drop down again.
All right, glove incoming for MTS here. Are we going to do 5 and then go do 6, and then out of 6, go to GP? That's probably the play here.
I really like how much ta909 is making use of this cheap fairy spell. Now that it's this cheap, he's just been taking any room that he remotely doesn't like the enemies in and just bypass it.
Yeah. Definitely a strat you see when fire is fairy. You just completely erase every room's threat with that.
Yeah, although P5 not making it easy on him.
I'm assuming he saw that room. The key door was there, wasn't it? He backed out of that. I think he just wants to check this right first, maybe.
I guess.
Ooh, do we have enough for jump? I assume we do. Don't kill all the enemies if we don't have enough for jump or fairy at this point.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be enough for fairy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fairy's only like 20 or 21, so jump apparently even cheaper. Not surprising at Magic 6.
MTS picking up upstab and the jump spell here. We had the child from early on. Jump, nice to have. Well, we just used jump in that room that TA was in, but also very nice to have in GP. Now, I wish TA would have checked that room that he just saw down the elevator, because he could have identified if that was a loop or not from the right that he had backed out of earlier.
Yeah, this P5, being P5.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of outstanding forks, even more stray forks for ta909. I think he may have thought that was a loop. It may have been a loop. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. I've been kind of going bouncing back and forth between the two runners. I think he's just simply trying to find all these rights and just hard writing this palace here.
Yeah, he had a right down the elevator he could have taken, but I don't remember if he had seen a similar room before. Maybe thought that was a loop. Maybe just deciding to take this one because it's a little cleaner. Ooh, this room kind of sucks, and I don't think he has enough for fairy. But not a bad enemy spawn.
All right, MTS is fully equipped. Oh, here's a drop room for TA. MTS is fully equipped with Thunder, the additional magic container from the desert tile. He's on par with where TA is in all the item and container acquisition here. So hopefully MTS goes into 5 soon enough. Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's that first drop loop. TA has found himself all the way back at the beginning. He hadn't gone left from that room.
I was just about to say that.
I would have checked that left. Because where's this up 8 going to put him? He's just going to have to go back to the loop anyway. Unless there's some path that I forgot about, which very easy could be.
Oh, that's it.
Let's just go right at the oh,
no, this is the room.
Oh, this is the room. Yeah, okay. So apparently, yeah, ta909 had gone left at the start. And then maybe he just wanted to recover his lives. I don't know.
No, this is the junction he had seen earlier. This is that room
that
he backed out of. So he's
okay. So he's seen all of this. So it's that room, right? It's that room you were talking about.
It's possible that's the same room. I'm not 100% sure.
I just mean like that's the place to be going, right? I don't know. I feel like ta909 has a much better handle on the shape of this palace than I do. Of course, it's always difficult when you're watching two runners to map everything out in your head. Also, when you're not playing. This is new, right?
Is this the same? This is another one of those landing rooms that we saw just right of start. So there's 2 of these rooms.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well now we know that almost for sure going left isn't going to mean anything. But yeah, if this is the way to the boss, then methinkso going to get quite a bit of catch-up time here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just from holding right instead of going through whatever monstrosity TA went through.
Yeah, so there was this down and right here for TA. He came back up and went right. What's all the way down? So so he's going a way that I wanted him to check
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about, where he had looked at this and then turned around and decided to go back. And
this elevator looks like there's two different rooms that use that elevator. Yeah, see, it's a loop.
Okay.
All right, so MTS going the same way. Oh my god. Okay, so just hold right here might be the answer. Because he backed out of the right here and he went up and right.
Yeah. Don't.
Oh, maybe it's a dead end over there.
Well, no, if he went right there was a room that went down into a left and right that I think he thought was a loop, but I have no idea.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, you're right.
I think we'll see it on methinkso's side pretty shortly here, because I remember he went in here, or I guess it's the next room, but there was a down elevator. He went down it, saw what it was, decided to go back and take this up and right.
Yeah, I was just going to say that there's two lefts here on this multi-level elevator. I don't think we've gone left here at all just yet. So TA, I think, is traversing new territory. And this is going to be an elevator room.
This is a good sign. Obscure left into a turnaround elevator is what you want to see. And you want to hope this is the boss.
Ooh.
And it's a turnaround at least.
Oh, dead end.
And it's dead end, yeah.
Yeah, you were right on that I junction, that the floating block room leading to the loop I junction. MTS is there right now.
Yeah. So he's going to go back, take that up and right that TA took previously. That's also not going to be it. T finding the item room on the other left, also not where he wants to be.
He is not happy about this P5 and this P6. These have been terrible to him.
Yeah, thankfully, have not been any better for methinkso.
Yeah, he can, at this point, he can save a little bit of time if he just kind of finds the right path at this point, but he has seen a good chunk of this P5 as well. It's got to be down and left from here. I don't think we've looped around to this elevator at this point, so it's got to be all the way down and left here.
Yeah, and that's where it's going to go. I like the way he's routed this, aside from that up A instead of going left in that one room, but it, it's been one of those things where even if you do good routing and you explore in a way that makes sense and you just find the way you want to go absolutely last.
Yeah, and this is a glove fairy block elevator room here on the left-hand side, so this is very likely going to be Guma at this point, because I think we've seen everything else.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep, and it is.
So full clear of 6 and full clear of 5, other than not grabbing the item out of 5 there. He saw the room, just backed out of it, so whatever it was, we'll never know.
Unless definitely, unfortunately, blowing away the sub-hour GP entrance.
Yeah. Both palaces here, though. That's funny. Again, just he plays, he said in previous interviews here that he plays these races a little differently than the casual ones that we do at night. And so, that makes sense that, it's hard to break the meta just going right. But this time around, the two biggest palaces having a left boss and full clearing both of them as a result. So I wonder what he's going to do in GP then.
Yeah, thankfully methinkso finding the full loop back to start, just sadness.
Yeah, MTS still has a little bit of time he can make up if he routes P6 extremely well, but he's going to have to find Guma real quick to have close enough GP entry for this to kind of matter. Otherwise, TA is going to get into GP, he's going to be scrounging around in there, and he's going to figure out the path to Thunderbird. Once we got that path, assuming Thunderbird's not right at the start, but once we have the path of Thunderbird, we've got the anchor point in GP that we always know which way to go, and we can ignore any other paths beyond that, at least before Thunderbird.
Yeah, so TA taking the slightly long way to GP. There's no better way, literally the only way you can take, but it is one of those things where, it's over an hour, you're heading into GP, you've basically 100%ed the seed, and this walk to GP can just get on your nerves. It's like, oh my god, what is happening here?
Yeah, I mean, we always say that it's about a 90-minute average clear time for seeds. I mean, I would say it's probably a little lower than that. It does depend on the flag set, but walking in the GP at 63 minutes and some change is still very good, but he knows that it could have been a lot better given the 6 of the 5 that he just went through.
Well, I think we'll see a little bit more about what he feels coming down this first elevator.
Yeah, methinkso not taking those lefts at that multi-level elevator there, so he's going to be in another loop here in a moment.
Very unfortunate. And here it is. He's going right. Okay.
Maybe a first right check and then hard left.
We'll see. That's a good gamble.
That blue bird back there might make him change his mind. We'll just hold right. Oh, wow! We are ferrying through. We are breaking block. Oh, back-to-back rooms like this.
Yeah, this time he had shield queued up to protect him from any birds getting in his way. But as is traditional, if you cast shield, you won't get hit.
Absolutely.
He was on it.
That's a super tough jump to make like that. You have to really just catch the edge, and he got it. Yeah.
Yeah, especially that one. I think it's a little bit easier. I find it a little bit easier both with the bottom 2 broken and like the third and fourth ones broken.
Yes.
The second and third one can be very tricky. A little bit surprised he didn't do the same, just break a black and cast fairy strat at that point. It may be that I didn't see how much thunder was. It may be that he's determined that this is his limit. He doesn't want to go below the thunder threshold.
Yeah. Yeah, no reason to keep just burning a bunch of magic at this point. Okay, so MTS did not see the item room in 5, so he saved a little bit of time, quite possibly over TA in here. It's going to be a slim margin, though, between the 2 clear times. Yeah,
if he does full left strats in P6, I think that's definitely could be a close race. If he doesn't, then this might be a bit of a blowout.
Was that a loop for TA? Okay, no, it wasn't a loop. He wants that, though.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so what did he have? He's got the left at start. He's got the left on the second junction. He has then there was an I junction. There was an upper right he left behind and a lower left he left behind. And so he's still got 4 other options here. We'll see where this elevator here in this waffle room takes him. Also, don't want to ignore MTS here as he goes into this P6. Is he just going to hold left? Because he certainly needs to. Otherwise, it's a big palace, a really big palace.
Yeah. Let's see it. It's a left.
Well, he knows it's a left here because the glove.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he knows he just needs to go left again.
Yeah.
We'll see how he feels. No. I don't blame him. You gotta check it. Yeah, but he's gonna go all the way down, no. And nope, he's going right.
It's a hard pill to swallow. The go left direction is a hard pill. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about all this stuff about going left. I absolutely would be taking this same route if I were him.
So would I. Oh. Well, just God route GP.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sensible routing that he took, but...
That's true. He did just have one other right that he had left behind.
Yeah. No fanciness in GP today. Just play it straight, and it's right to Thunderbird. And with how many forks we've seen, probably not that much going to be behind him.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless those are really quick loops or immediate dead ends, there's probably a good chunk of GP that he's leaving behind. Could just be the T-Bird DL combo here.
Yeah, I know TH, not coming from any kind of a vanilla Zelda 2 background, not the cleanest on Thunderbird, but he's making it work.
Yeah, I think he has said that these are one of the fights that he absolutely struggles on, and he's been trying to get better at it. It's much different than really any other fight in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's even quite a bit different than vanilla. If you're an all keys runner, you're used to running up on Thunderbird at 886 or 884 or something like that, and just thrashing him. And it's a little different when you're coming in at attack 5 or 6.
All right, we have this glove block elevator here.
Okay, so I mentioned it being not that much after, but we immediately have a real fork of questionable length. Oh, never mind.
Easy game.
Yeah, unfortunately, this has rapidly turned into the blowout I was describing.
Yeah, MTS was still over here clearing the Rebo guarded item room there for whatever was in 6. I don't
Yeah, I think it's a heart. I may just not have recognized.
Oh, that's right,
yeah. That was the item room version. The item room version has a statue in it. I do like that the statue has become sort of a universal signifier for this is an item room.
Yeah, absolutely.
But get your GGs in chat for ta909, official time 109:28.
And according to Racetime has recently begun announcing when people have gotten new bests for their times in a certain category. And TA with the new personal best time here for the tournament category at that 69:28.
Very, very nice. Considering this was a 100% seed, we solidly hit tracker percent. I know never marked off Thunderbird because nobody cares. There we go. Just both runners gonna mark the whole card off. Shoutouts to our tracker JLo for having to click all of the buttons today.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna get him in for an interview here.
But yeah, doing a tournament PB on 100% seed is pretty impressive. Well executed. And unfortunately, MTS just doing the same thing in P6 that happened to ta909. You either hold left or this happens. You just run around in a circle for 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it sounds like we are going to get TA in for an interview here. Yeah, so while there was time for methinkso to make up here, there was definitely time to make up in 5 and 6. And again, made up a small amount in 5, but the 6 is not looking good for him. And as a result, it's pretty much been this separation the whole time. Slowly, TA has slowly kind of seemingly inched ahead. Maybe that's better spell usage, resource usage. It wasn't better routing in 5 or 6, but was it maybe saved a little bit of time in 1 over not having to find the item, whereas MTS looked for that? Maybe saving time in 4, having not looked for the item either. No need to do that at that point in time for TA. So those little time saves did add up, and at this point it did end up being easily several minutes here, or more than several minutes, I should say.
Yeah, and he's just absolutely I think this is like the right routing, and both our runners did it. It's murderous. This P6 is cruel.
Yeah, it's cruel because it's only 4 rooms to Barba if you just go left, and so the other 20 plus rooms of this palace are not in that direction, and so you explore all of it, and I think we're looping around at this point, so hopefully he catches that.
And the way it's structured, sometimes you have to take a critical left, but at some point there'll be a loop, or there'll be something that sort of sends you back to, you get a few chances to maybe take the right route. No, this P6 is either you held left at the very beginning or you're screwed.
Yeah, speaking of P6, joined by TA here. GG, give us your thoughts on P6.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little more worried about P5 there for a minute, but yeah, P6 was kind of an obscure left. I mean, it wasn't. I guess it was just hold left from start, and then you get an elevator up.
Yeah.
I wasn't really looking at lefts at that point in time because I didn't know if I was in P3 or P6 until I was about halfway done with P6. So, yeah, I was prioritizing rights, and unfortunately, it was that one left. And honestly, that's sometimes that's a strategy that I take. Is I go for the lefts in some of these bigger palaces, and I just happen to miss it this time. But then P5, I felt like I could have been behind with that disastrous P6 on my end. So I took the first left in P5, and then I think I took a couple drops, whatever, but still ended up full clearing the palace. And it was like one of the next lefts, so I had to go. So the first left, that's fine, take the drops, whatever, then hold right a little bit. Then it's one of those lefts that brought me to Guma, and I just did everything else except that left. So, yeah, P5 and P6 did treat me well that seed.
Yeah, both of you got a little beat up by that. Also joined by methinkso here, throwing in a towel, rightfully so. That P6 was looked terrible, but honestly, we were just talking to TA about that. It was just hold left from start, and you would quickly get to Barba. Very small, in air quotes, P6 if you just went the right way. GG nonetheless, though.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, GG, methinkso.
I would say you both started out pretty even. There really wasn't much to do. West side of the West required you to get the boots out of one of the item caves there and then take Parappa Cave across. Everything was boulder blocked otherwise. You pretty much did the same thing. I think, TA, you saw Saria first, and then you were able to walk kind of the sea pathway in the shape of a sea, that is, up to Rudo, or up to Medicine Cave, up to Rudo, and then hit the raft, and you were the first one to DM. methinkso, you went to the top side first. You saw Medicine, saw Rudo, hit DM, kind of walked around a little bit, and then kind of backtracked because at that point you were still missing Saria's spell and the Heart Container Cave. So that was a good play. I mean, it wasn't progression, right, specifically, but it was, those things are going to be in the back of your mind. Let me just go back and get those. And so other than that, you started out pretty equal there, but where TA did get the advantage is that when the hammer was on the east, it was both of you had the hint for the hammer on the east, and you got the hammer off the east. TA went back, immediately took the medicine and fairy spell, got downstab shield, hit that cave to get the magic key off of the maze, and then ultimately hit the east, the south side of the east. And as we know, that Nukasudo had that glove just sitting right there. We don't know if it was 5 or 6 containers to get in, but you both had 6 when you got the glove out of there. But TA had that very early on. There were no glove blocks anywhere other than 6. But yeah, that did leave methinkso looking for items in 1, in 4, and yeah, and so spent a little bit of extra time doing those things, and kind of lost a little bit of time just overall the entire seed there.
Yeah, I mean, the seed was pretty linear to start out with the West. It was relatively easy to navigate, and yeah, I completed the West and went to DM. It took me a little bit to find the bridge. I didn't know if I needed a bridge or if I needed a cave to get either to the east or the maze. I didn't know at the time. But yeah, once I got the hammer off of the east, I knew that boulder blocked cave near start had to be either a cave to the maze or it had to be a cave to the other side of the east. So I knew that's where I needed to go next once I found the hammer. I didn't know if it was a 2-sided volcano at the time, and I was kind of thinking about that. But we knew that the east was segmented in 2 parts, and it was not a 2-sided volcano. So I wasn't 100% sure if I needed a cave to get to the other side of the east, or if I had to walk through that Valley of Death. So I decided to just go back to the west with the hammer, and found the maze, and then I saw a cave on the maze, and I figured that cave was going to be the other side of the east. So at that point, I think I found Fairy when I went right to the east. So at that point, once I found the other side of the east, I figured I was going to just tackle all of my checks on the east, get the 2 checks on the maze taken care of, and then then do palaces, and the off chance that the glove is just sitting there for free, and it was a new Kasuto, and don't remember what the glove blocks were looking like that seed, but, as you said, methinkso, it sounded like he was looking at palaces for the glove, where I was in go mode and didn't need to dig out items, so, that was the way that I approached the seed, I guess.
I kind of figured I lost this once I found the the glove just sitting there in Grandma's basement there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gosh, I
totally
I
understand the logic.
Yeah, I saw
Sorry, go
the
ahead.
east there. I saw the east there, and I was like, well, I could come back here at any time, and I just want to start like clearing out palaces, and like I know the trophies in 2, and
Mm-hmm.
if I'm already over there, I might as well like clear out like Death Valley and all that.
Yeah, I totally understand the logic of that, and I was thinking about doing the same thing. And I mean, you probably wouldn't know that at the time, but you have you have P1 in the Valley of Death, right by Old Kasuto, which had the fairy spell. So had I known P1 was in the Valley of Death, I probably would have went right there before having the glove and would have looked around a little bit. But instead, I only did maybe 4 or 5 rooms. That I went directly to Horsehead, and I said, nope, I'm out of here. Once I killed Horsehead, so I didn't need to look for any items. But yeah, I could totally see the rationale behind doing palaces when you get your fairy spell off the east, and you have a 2. You need the item. You had a 3 in the Caldera. So yeah.
Yeah, there was. I think the only thing that maybe gave TA a little bit of lead early on is methinkso. When you came back to the West, you skipped going with the fairy spell and the medicine. You skipped over Mito, and you went to P2 first to get that trophy. And it was probably a little bit of you saw more P2 overall. You saw more P2 than TA did, but I think seeing more P2 and not having downstab or shield for some of that might have also added a bit of a slowdown to the overall clear of the palace. And so that could have been a bit more separation. I think that gave TA a little bit more of an advantage. TA, you found Helmet Head very quickly in there. And was that the left? Mm-hmm. There was a left at start. It was that.
Yeah,
right,
so there was, yep, you had a left at start and you had a right at start. And I had ambivalent feelings towards finding that Helmet Head early. If I knew I didn't need an item, I would have felt really good about that, because it was, the first left to start brings you right to Helmet Head. But I knew that I needed the item out of there. So I was telling myself in the back of my head that if the item is deep, it's probably not going to matter that I found Helmet Head early. But if the item is early, which it had to be to this right, if the item is early, then I can pick up a bunch of time here if methinkso goes right before going left and, does the whole palace, finds the item, whatever, but does not find Helmet Head. So the item was, I don't remember exactly where it was. I would say I probably did.
Like just hold right and then go up to the elevator and then keep holding right. It was basically
it was.
Yeah, so I probably did about half the palace there. So I felt pretty good about that, knowing that I found the item. I still had a lot of different directions to check, and I had already knocked out Helmet Head with that first left, so felt pretty good about that P2. But yeah, other than that, GP was relatively straightforward. Just prioritize rights. P1 was simple. P4, I think I direct path. Yeah, it was just in P5 and P6 that really threw me for a loop, I guess. But other than that, it went pretty well on my part.
Yeah, you two pretty much played the palaces the same, other than the extra digs in 1 and 4 for methinkso, because the item in 3 was a pass-through room, and then it was the pass-through rebo into the actual rebo, and then you were out of there. So there wasn't really any penalty. methinkso didn't spend any extra time in that 3. And by the time that methinkso had access to 5 and 6, already had the glove at that point, and so there was no more digging. You both got beat up by 5 and 6, though. Again, there was time. There was a gap to close on methinkso's side, but unfortunately, that 6 just. Ellendar and I were talking about it, that it's hard to just go left. It is really hard at times, and we would have taken the rights as well. So I wouldn't feel bad about taking those rights. methinkso. Barbara could have been easily down one of those rights when it was actually just hold left from start. It's just like 4-room P6. And as TA said, it really wasn't that big of a GP. He just happened to go. There were 3 lefts, I think, you left behind, and 1 right you left behind on an elevator there. And you just took the correct right there out of the 2 rights, and it led to Thunderbird eventually. You maybe saw, I want to say, 12 rooms, maybe 14 rooms. It really wasn't that much. And they weren't really too difficult, all things considered. So you really weren't that far behind methinkso, even though, you just had to dig out that 6 and get the GP. We were wondering, TA, if you were going to take any after the 5 and the 6. We were wondering if we were going to see a left in GP.
I was thinking about it. I had an option at the beginning to go either left or right. Decided to go right, and I don't know. I think if it was immediately like a junction to the right, I might have considered up-Aing and just checking out the left. But I felt like I had to hold right for a little bit. So after a few rooms, I was like, I don't really want to go back and check that left. I guess my strategy there is I don't want to see an immediate Thunderbird or anything, so I wanted to check the right first. And I kind of did the same thing in P5, which I started with the first left, but I walked right 1 room first just to make sure that it's not a free Guma. So I was thinking about it, but I decided not to. But it was it was in the back of my head. I was thinking about it. But it was hard to determine where I stood in that race with the locations of Guma and Barba that seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Elendar, I've been hogging the mic here, man. Any questions?
No, I mean you covered the hits.
Okay.
I mean, screw that P6. That's the story of the seed.
Yeah, I was just gonna simply say that you both did like the same stuff. We had to clear so much in this seed. Y'all cleared it all. You did the same thing other than Spell Tower at this point. There was a P bag in P1. methinkso, was there a glove block in 4 to the item room, or did you find the item room and then get out of there?
I was digging around for the item room for a while, and I kept running into dead ends, and at the end I just up and 8 out of there, and
Okay.
it was just I realized I just had so much in the east just sitting there.
Yeah.
I had no business being in 4 for as long as I was, and even 1 and 2, or not 2, but yeah.
Oh, I do have one question. Did we ever see a fire check? I'm not. I don't remember. I feel like we.
I didn't grab it.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up. I regretted it though.
Okay. I remember you were in the town, and we're like, fire could be
It was
good.
in New Casuto, yeah. I found the glove, and I got really excited, and I was like, all right, I need nothing else. And then I just left New Casuto, and then I'm like, wait, that fire could be reflect. So I'm not actually in go mode right now, but I had already, I don't know, I figured it wasn't worth it to backtrack to New Casuto for the 1 in 7 chance of it being reflect. So, and I knew where the trophy was, so I don't know. But that would have been painful if it wouldn't have been that bad, I guess. But it wouldn't have felt great if fire was reflect. But no one knows what it was.
Nope,
If you
and
think so,
we'll
pick it
never
up.
know.
Yeah. So, okay, you both saw pretty much the same amount of the seed here. This concludes game 1. No one's going home. TA just up 1 game here in this best of 3 series. Tomorrow night is game 2. Looking like probably about 8 p.m., assuming no schedule changes, but that's no big deal, I'm sure. That's it for me, Elendar. Any last thoughts from you before we give it to VT?
Nope. Good luck in the next race.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys, take care. Thank you for all the work.
All right. Again, give our runners ta909 and methinkso a follow. Also show some love to our commentators Mariah and Elendar, and to our tracker JLo for the work they did tonight. Coming up on the ZSR network, we have 2 races coming up in about 30 minutes. We have an ALTTPR Cross Keys Swiss Round 6 matchup between Leaf and Silverowl over on ZSR2. And Wind Waker Randomizer Season 7 Tournament Qualifier on ZSR3. That's ZSR underscore 3 if you're looking for it. Also, got Game 2 of this matchup between ta909 and methinkso is set for tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, so adjust for your time zone. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.